So picture this. You're about to go cast your metal, and you realize that the lid for your furnace is on the inside instead of on the top, like it's supposed to be. Kind of a problem. Welcome back, Cracking Crew. Today we're going to be doing some furnace repair, so let's get right onto it. We are going to ignore the inner part and really just focus on the lid. As you can see, most of the hard mortar has fallen off already, and it's pretty trashed. The pins that hold it in place have basically just burned away. A lot of it's really brittle, and the wool is just flaking off. We'll start by pulling all of this shmoo out so that we can get it nice and clean underneath. There's going to be a lot of dust and gunk and crud flying around, so please, if you care about your lungs at all, please wear a respirator the entire time. This next part I don't want you to see. It's kind of private, kind of secret, and there it is. I guess you can see here. I just traced the lid so I knew how big to cut the wool. This ceramic fiber blanket is also known as KO wool, and it provides the insulation for the furnace. It's a bunch of woven ceramic fiber that traps any heat inside the furnace. It's not perfect, some of the heat is still going to get out, so it still gets warm, but on my furnace I've only measured about 300 degrees on the inside versus about 2,500, nope, got that backwards, 2,500 on the inside and about 300 outside, so it insulates pretty well. Anyway, you take your secret template and cut out a piece of ceramic blanket that's just a bit bigger than your foundry lid. Then squeeze it in to get a nice pressure fit. Now, since we're not making a bomb here, all that pressure that you're building up inside the furnace from the hot gas has to go somewhere, so you have to cut the hole out in the top of the furnace. I did this with an X-Acto knife, utility blade, whatever you call this thing. Okay, enough with the hole already, dude. This particular wool that I bought wasn't quite as thick as my lid, but that's no trouble. We'll just add a second layer, and this will actually work out great. We'll just cut a couple slits for the pins to fit through, and slide them on in. This does take a little bit of finessing, but it actually works out great. And again, you'll need to cut that hole out. Try and get the two layers as flush as you can. This does take a little bit of work, and I found it easier to do with this smaller utility blade, but this will help the longevity of your lid. For our next step, we're going to need some nitrile gloves, because we're going to be adding some refractory cement. When you buy this stuff, it's going to be a little bit separated, and that's pretty normal. You just need to mix it up until it's about the consistency of sour cream. This is actually a pretty important step. This actually really does improve the life of the ceramic fiber. You also really need to pay attention to the temperature rating of the mortar that you purchase. You need to look for the stuff that's rated for about 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit to stand up to the temperatures inside your furnace. Anyway, apply a thin coat so that way it dries with minimal cracking. "2 days later." I said minimal! Ah, well, you can only avoid so much. Anyway, just patch the cracks as best you can. You probably will have to reapply a couple times. I think I did at least 3 coats, waiting at least a day between each one. This next step isn't required for performance, but you can see my furnace is looking pretty sad, and this actually will extend the life of it. I'm just going to sand the top layer off to get all the rust and crud off, and then put a new layer of finish on. As you can see, my handy dandy drill did a lot of the work, until it didn't. Yeah, nice. This isn't just any old spray paint, this is rated for 2,000 degrees, so this will stand up to a lot of the heat coming off of here, and then, like I said, it will extend the life of your furnace just that little bit. And lastly, just make sure to plug your hole here so that you don't get any backdraft from the propane. And hey presto, you'll be back to melting before you know it. So now you know some of the basics of Foundry Repair. I'm by no means an expert, so if I got something wrong, let me know. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment down below. I'm happy to answer any questions you have to the best of my ability, but again, not an expert, so you get what you pay for. And since you didn't pay for anything, you can't really complain. Anyway, that's going to do it for us today. I hope you liked what you saw. Yeah, that's it. Bye. We're going to be